What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Picks and Roll DFS. Yesterday, we went 1-2, which puts us at 21-7 over the last 2 weeks. Still an incredible heater, and we're looking to bounce back today with 3 plays I really like. With week 1 of the NFL season here, this is the perfect time to grab free money. Sportsbooks and DFS platforms are competing for your attention with huge promos. Betr, for example, has a Lamar Jackson free pick. He only needs 1 passing yard to hit. Pair that with their deposit bonus using code DIME, and you're instantly playing with house money. And if you send me an email.com, I'll give you a free month in my... Before we jump into today's slate, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and hit subscribe so you never miss a pick. First play is going to be Satou's higher than 4.5 rebounds. We can see that FanDuel, ESPN Bet, Caesars, Hard Rock, DraftKings all believe this line will go higher than 4.5, with FanDuel at -120 and DraftKings all the way at -140. Now let's look at the data and see why. We can see that Connecticut is 10th in rebounds allowed to forwards, averaging 19.2. Additionally, over the year, Sabally has averaged nearly 6 rebounds a game, going above the line of 4.5 rebounds, 69%, 25 out of 36 games. Additionally, we can see head-to-head against Connecticut from last year and this year. 3 games in total, she's gone above this line in each of those games, averaging nearly 10 overall in those 3 and a median of 8. She's also going to play significant minutes. As we can see in the last 3 matchups, she's played 31 minutes on average between them. Now, keep in mind, Connecticut is not a playoff team while Phoenix is, and it's possible that this game could get out of hand quickly because it's nearly the end of the season, or Phoenix decides to rest a lot of their players, and this may decrease her minutes. But even at 28 minutes, as we see here in this blowout, it's still highly probable that she'll go above her line of 4.5 rebounds. Now, a little cause for caution or concern for some, if you're using Outlier, is this insights data that shows us that she's failed to exceed 4.5 rebounds in 4 of her last 5 games. But again, we want to avoid the recency bias and look at a larger sample size, especially since it's the end of the season. I would rather look at the last 20, which we see is a 50% rate. She's gone above this line 10 out of 20 times. Or again, that season where she's gone above this line 25 out of 36. If you want to break down stats like this yourself, I use Outlier every single day to dig into props. Use code LOB when you sign up to get a discount and sharpen your process. Our next play is going to be Kayla McBride going higher than 16.5 points plus assists. Again, looking at other lines, other sports books, other platforms, we can see that FanDuel favorites this line at -130, as well as DraftKings. And you can see that this is not available on places like PrizePicks. Now, if we look head-to-head, we can see in just 2 games this year, Kayla McBride has split, going above this line once and going just below the second time for a 50% rate. On the year as a whole, she's cashed this line 23 out of 36 for a 62% hit rate. We can also see that this line movement is going up and down since the lines opened. So we want to make sure that we're cashing as soon as possible, especially at this 16.5, which is a much better line than 17.5. We can also see from the insight data that Kayla McBride has exceeded 16.5 points plus assists in 8 of her last 10 games on the road with an average of nearly 21 points and assists in those games. We can look at some of the matchup data, which does not help us, where it tells us that Golden State is first in points overall allowed, as well as assists. They are third. Keep in mind, Minnesota Lynx are the best team in the league, while Golden State are an expansion team making their first playoff appearance. Lynx have numerous people that can get hot. Kayla McBride does not have to have the ball in her hand, and when she gets hot from three, it gets dangerous really fast, which is why I like this line of Kayla McBride over 16.5 points plus assists. Now, I do a lot of talk in each video about bankroll management. One of the best ways to track your EV plays across platforms is through Pikkit. It is free, and if you use code LOB when you sign up, you can see exactly how important Pikkit will be to your long-term success as a profitable sports. It makes it way easier to stay disciplined as you grow your bankroll. All you have to do, sign up, use code LOB, combine or sync your DFS platforms and sportsbooks, and you are set to go. Our last play for today is going to be Veronica Burton going lower than 21.5 points plus assists. First, we can look head to head, where she's only cleared this line, gone above it one time in a matchup from combination of last year and this year, which is an 89% hit rate. Additionally, we can see that on the year as a whole, she's gone below this line 78% of the time, 32 out of 41 games, with an average in those of 17.8 and a median of 18. If we look at the lines from other profitable or major sports books, we can see that Hard Rock Bet is at minus 115, FanDuel is at minus 126, and even Bet365 is at minus 130. We're looking at this line at Underdog at minus 132. Minnesota Lynx are also ranked second in points allowed to guards, as well as first in assists allowed to guards. We can also look at her last 20, where she's cleared this line 80% of the time, going below 16 out of 20 for an average in those games of 19.1 and a median of 19.5. I believe that this line at the moment feels a bit inflated. That's why I'm taking it under. Just like a previous play this week for Veronica Burton, I believe I chose like solely her rebound line, and I gave you multiple other plays that I liked as well. Similar action here. I also like the under on her points, rebounds, and assists, as well as the under on just her points and rebounds. So you can kind of choose between those three, or you can take some of these plays and combine them in different ways to help build your role. Let's recap today's plays. We have Satou Sabally going higher than 4.5 rebounds. We have Kayla McBride going higher than 16.5 points plus assists. And Veronica Burton going lower than 21.5 points plus assists. Don't forget to lock in the Lamar Jackson free pick on Betr with code DIME. And if you send me that screenshot, you'll get a free month in my VIP, where we're building the role every single day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, let's build that role.